Hi, good afternoon. Hope you can see me. God bless you. Welcome back to my channel. Please, if you're a new subscriber, thank you so much for choosing to subscribe with us. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for sticking with us. Thank you so much. It's been a very hectic time with me in the hospital, not having time, constant shortage of medical staffing. Sometimes it's like I want to come online, but it's not possible. I do apologize for that. But try and make out time to be coming more often online. I do apologize. So today we are going to be speaking on the topic that says a broken marriage, a broken relationship, is better than a failed marriage. I hope you can hear me. A broken relationship, you know, is better than a failed marriage. So we're going to be reading from Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. The Bible says, okay, let's look at verse 23. The Bible says, and Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his mother and father, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. So the Bible is telling us here about marriage and the institution of marriage. A long time ago, God gave us the model of marriage by when He created Adam and Eve in the garden, and get them together for them to become couples, husband and wife. And all of us, despite wherever we come from, despite our nations, we are the product of um, Adam and Eve genealogy. Okay. So God created marriage in the Garden of Eden. And a lot of people have said, did God actually created marriage? Who did Adam and Eve pay bride price to? Or why should I pay bride price on a woman's head? Because there was no such when God started marriage. Well, I'm here to say, this camera is giving a bit of problem. Sorry about that. A lot of people have said, did God actually um is God happy with people paying bride price? So why can't we just give our children for free? Why can't we give people for free in marriage? Why do we have to pay so much bride price, give all sort of gift in marriage? It's not, is there any way it's written in the Bible? And a lot of us are following after the model of God. And I've had teenagers in the church who asked me if Adam and Eve were actually married or they were just partners living together. So, according to the scripture I read a few minutes ago, that scripture told us that God created Eve from Adam, and God actually made Eve for Adam, and God blessed them. God blessed them and said, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. Therefore, what really matters in case of marriage is that blessing. Is that blessing. Because sometimes um, a lot of people are spending quite a lot of time spending a lot of resources, spending a lot of money to get married. But in the Bible, the example that we saw in Genesis, um, God just created Adam and then created Eve and blessed them. So before you start a relationship with a woman, the main thing is that God's blessing. Although we saw also in the same Genesis when Isaac was supposed to marry and how God sent his servant to go, and when they found Rebecca, they paid bride price, and then they got married. Isaac then married to Rebecca. So marriage is not supposed to be expensive, but if marriage happens to be expensive, I think it's individual and it's cultural priorities, prerogative, or someone's um on their own volition, they can accept to get expensive marriage. But I don't really see any biblical backing for this expensive marriage that a lot of people are into. So marriage, the main thing that matters in that marriage is God's blessing. So if a man find a woman today and say, this is the bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh, and the man takes the woman to a pastor who has been ordained by God, and they pray and bless both of them, that's the beginning of the marriage. And if the man now go to the parents and seek consent of both parents and pay a little bride price, is part of marriage. But the main thing that established marriage is that blessing. So before a man and a woman live together, it's imperative for them to go and get the blessings from the pastor. You can make it elaborate if you want to, but you can decide to make it. I've seen someone back in my country um, that got married with 6 people. So you can decide to marry with 5 people. You can decide to marry with 6 people. It's fine. You can decide to marry with a crowd. It's your own volition. And being elaborate or being small is your own decision. Now, who do you marry? So many marriages are failing because um, the person that we get married to, we did not actually know who they are. So actually, a friend of mine got married to a man, and not because they were in love, not because the man was in love with her, but she was in love with the man. And in the end, the marriage was based on what can she give to the man, what can she give to the man, and it's not what is the man bringing to the table. So it's very heart aching and heart breaking situation whereby marriage, the love is not equilibrium. The love between the man and the man is not reciprocating, meaning that the man and the woman, the love they share with each other is not mutual. And a lot of people go into marriage for several motives. So they have different motives that they go into the marriage with. And unfortunately, when the motives or the aims or the goals of the marriage does not center in love, then that marriage cannot stand. Although sometimes some people can have negative motive and they go into the marriage, but at the end of the day they fall in love and then the marriage can thrive. But like I said earlier, marriage, the love in marriage is supposed to be at the state of equilibrium. What does that mean? There should be a balance. You love me and I love you, and we have no strings attached. It's love that brought us together, and that is why we are here. So if we all have that same motive, that it is love that brought us together, and that is why we are here, that means that that marriage is set on the foundation of God, and we are all here to love, to build a home, to raise children, to build a thriving family. But when the marriage is built on a weak foundation, a shaky foundation, which means that I'm marrying for something. When someone is saying, I'm marrying her, or I'm going to get married to her, I'm going to get married to him, not because I love him, but because I love his money. The guy is rich, he's got a lot of salt, got a lot of money. So even though he's ugly, I don't really care. I just want to marry her. I just want to marry him because I can get lots of money from I can get lots of money from him. I can get lots of money from her. So when money is the center of marriage, that marriage cannot stand. But when Jesus Christ is the center of that marriage, the marriage will thrive. There is no marriage in this whole planet that has not go through challenges, right? But our behavior during these challenges determines if that relationship or marriage is going to thrive. So when people get into relationship because of benefit, not because they love themselves or not because there is Jesus Christ in that marriage, but they're going there with ulterior motive because he has money. So I'm going to marry him because of his money, or she has money. She comes from a rich family. Because the woman comes from a rich family, I will do everything to ensure I get married to her. So once that motive is because of material reasons, such relationship or such marriage is bound to fail. So a lot of times, a lot of people have been through all of this situation, and then it is a situation that nobody wants to be in there. So it's also advisable when you meet a man or you meet a woman for the first time, as you are building that relationship, sit down together and get to know about this person's background, their values, you know, their beliefs, and try to find out what exactly did they see in you that makes them to actually or draw them towards you. Also try to have discussion around today, tomorrow, and the future. What do they expect from you as a man, or what do they expect from you as a lady? Today, when you get married, tomorrow, and all of that. So, all this information also asks about their families. Today, a lot of women have said they don't want to get married to a man that has got a mother and a father. Some women said they don't want to marry to a man that has parents. Some people are waiting to find a man that has no mother and has no father. But one thing a woman forgets to realize is that if you think of marrying a man without a father, a man without a mother, you are also going to become a mother-in-law, like it or not. When you have a child, your child will get married, whether it's a girl child or a boy child, automatically you will become a mother-in-law. And we have example of a good relationship between a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law in the Bible, in the book of Ruth. And we know about the story of Ruth, and we know a story about now Naomi. That Naomi was the mother-in-law of Ruth, but yet Ruth found favor in the sight of her mother-in-law. And the mother-in-law also, Naomi, found favor in the sight of Ruth. And remember that Ruth was not only the daughter-in-law of Naomi, she also had the one called Orpah. So Orpah left. When the son died, Orpah left and went to her people. But when Ruth's husband died, Ruth refused to go. She stuck to her mother-in-law, and together they were going through their journey of bitterness, their journey of shame, their journey of poverty, until God Almighty, through the help of Naomi, helped Ruth to be married to Boaz, which was one of the richest men, and also have a genealogy with Christ. So when we marry into when we start a relationship, a lot of people are young girls or ladies. They're already having this animosity, before they even get into a relationship. They're really having this animosity that if my husband have a mother, if my husband have a father, or if my partner has got a father or a mother, I'm going to deal with them. Wow. So once you start having that mindset that when your partner, which is your husband to be, has got a father or a mother-in-law, you're going to deal with them, then you're already preparing yourself for battle, and therefore war is going to come. War is going to come because you are inviting war to your marriage, you're inviting war to your relationship, you're already preparing your mind. And when ladies prepare their mind in that manner, that if my partner, if my boyfriend has got a father and a mother, I am going to deal with that woman. I'm going to deal with their father. Remember, your boyfriend, remember, your partner did not fall from the sky. It's someone, somewhere called parent that gave birth to your man. They gave birth to your boyfriend. They gave birth to your partner. They washed them. They dressed them up. They take them to school. They clean their whatever feces. They clothe them. They took care of them until they grew up. It's their parent that sent them to school to acquire the qualification that is giving them that job and that money, that you, the woman, you are, you know, you are happy to get into that marriage because the guy is good, the guy is handsome, the guy is rich. That's that perception. The guy did not fall from the sky rich. The guy came from a product of conception between a man and a woman, just like you, the lady. Therefore, have this clear mindset that you are going to find a new mother. When you marry into a family, when you marry into a home, your mother-in-law supposed to have additional daughter, and your on the mother's side, on the woman's side, your father and your mother supposed to have another son. Okay, so we should have that mindset that we're going to love our in-laws. So do not go to get into marriage with war, with animosity, with aggression, towards your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, or your husband's sibling. Because I keep saying husband siblings because women, I'm a woman as well. We are very selfish human beings. We want to have our territory to ourselves. And because of this selfishness in women, that is why the world is where we are now. Because it's that same selfishness that led to Eve eating the fruit in the garden against God's wishes, against God's warning. Eve went and ate the fruit of the garden. And that is why women, we are very selfish. And this selfishness does not take a woman to anything better. It's not going to end in anything better. Because if you say you're going to have your husband to yourself, you're going to have your husband finances to yourself. You're going to do everything to yourself. In the end, sometimes you will be sorry. Because when you chase your in-laws, from my culture, if you chase your in-laws away and you take control of your husband, take control of his finances, take control of his cars, his properties, because you're his wife, well, it can only good when the man is alive. But when the man passed, or God forbid, accidentally or incidentally, coincidentally, your husband passed, the family will come for you and they will make sure they take everything and throw you out naked as you came. So, because you did not form a bonding, you have no bonding in that relationship with your You have no bonding with your sister-in-law. You have no bonding with your mother-in-law. You have no bonding with your father-in-law. Your only bonding is with your husband and children. And that is why the marriage may likely fail. So we need to develop that bonding. We need to open our heart. We need to open up to allow our in-laws to come in. We need to go into a marriage without walls. I wrote a book. I'm still working on that book. It means the title of the book said Care Without Walls. Care without walls. Meaning how you can provide care without barriers, without discrimination, without stereotype. So now in the marriage, if you can just go to this marriage without walls and just open up to making new family, new relationship with your in-laws, then the marriage stands. God forbid your anything happens tomorrow to your husband, those your in-laws you have formed alliance with, you are bonded with them, they will speak for you. They will stand up for you. You have one or two people from your husband's side that will stand up for you to say, Guy, this lady is a good woman and she has taken care of her brother and love everyone. We were always here with her. You find out that your in-laws will speak for you. But if you are self-centered, selfish, like I said earlier, doing me, myself, and I, when things happen, nobody to speak for you. So those are one of two reasons I have mentioned that marriage fails. Number one is when the marriage is having ulterior motive. Everyone have there's no true love, but there is a marriage with benefits that when I marry her, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that. When that expectations is not met, when you have expectations that you're going to marry because you want to get A, B, C, D from that person, when that expectation is not met, the marriage cannot stand. That will be the end of that relationship because your marriage um was not based on Christ. Then there will be crisis. And also, if you marry a woman because she's very beautiful, there are another group of people that form a relationship with a woman, not because she's intelligent, not because she's rich, but because she's very pretty. She's very pretty for you to behold. Maybe she's fair complexion, maybe she's tall, maybe she's slim, maybe she's got this kind of shape, that banging body. Some people marry for that reason because that woman is beautiful to behold. If I take that woman to a party or somewhere, people will look and say, wow, that is his wife. So you're marrying that woman not because you love her, you're marrying that woman because she's beautiful and you're anticipating making beautiful children from that beautiful woman. So when you are in relationship, this woman is beautiful 247. She's in the salon. She's changing her hairdo. She's changing her clothing. She wear expensive clothes. She wants to maintain her stature as you met her. She's very pretty. But now you find out that marriage is beyond the physical beauty. When you are in a relationship with this beautiful woman, because of her beauty, you became errand boy because you want to keep her, you want to marry her. So you are able to provide, you're providing for her, yes. And she will tell you, I don't know how to cook, you know, or she will lie to you, I can cook, but she's going to get someone to be cooking, or she's going to be buying food on from a vendor, and she's not able to clean your house. She's not able to keep your house in order. She doesn't have no brain. Beauty without brains, she will not be able to solve even common mathematics for your children. So when you are starting a relationship, all your focus is on her beauty. The center of attraction in that marriage is based on the physical looks of that woman. Now the relationship will fail if, God forbid, anything happened to her and she get involved maybe in a car crash or any dent on that beauty. Then you find out that the marriage cannot stand, the relationship cannot stand, because the center of attraction that was beauty is gone, which was the physical beauty, is gone. And you find out that when a woman becomes amputee, maybe she developed diabetes, got complication, and then one of her legs is being amputated. The man is gone because the beauty is gone. So being married or being in relationship because of physical beauty is one of the reasons that the marriage or the relationship cannot stand. Therefore, for the relationship to work, we have to look beyond the physical beauty. A woman that is beautiful in and out, and a woman that is homely. You want a woman that can keep your home. You want a woman that can keep your stomach. We say the ways to a man's heart is through the stomach. So when you are choosing a partner, don't just choose because of physical looks or physical beauty. Look beyond the physical beauty. Look about your house. When you come back with visitors to your house, can you just come into your house with that confidence that everything is okay, everything is in position, because you have a woman that is in there, she cleans the house and she keeps the house okay. Although most women are working class ladies like myself, I'm a working class lady. I'm not a full time wife, no, and I refuse to be. But at the same time, right, I have one day off in a week where I take time to clean my house and ensure that the house is kept. And if you choose to say, okay, I'm going to have house help, you're doing that at your own volition and you're doing that at your own risk. So look beyond physical beauty. Look beyond physical beauty when you decide to marry a woman. Look at a woman that can be able to manage your finances. A woman that can manage your finances is that woman that you can sit down with that woman and make a budget to say this and this are what we are going to do for 2024, and you stick to that budget. If emergency occurs, you can sit back with that woman of yours and review, evaluate, and recalculate and restart all over. Marry that woman that can manage your finances. Marry a woman who's intelligent, that can run your business. Even if the woman is a full-time housewife, but she has what it takes to manage your finances, she can run your business. Don't marry a woman that is like a caterpillar. Don't marry a woman that is like bulldozer. When she gets in, her eyes is in your finances. Instead of managing the finances to help you to grow, she ruins your finances. She bulldozes your account and she lives what we call extravagant life and a life of luxury. And when the woman came, you as a man, your account was in millions. But within 6 months, you're struggling financially because our constant demands is pulling your finances down. And she will tell you, can't you see me? Is it not how you met me? You don't want me to get a new wig? What's wrong if you carry your natural hair and have your wig as well once in a while? But this set of women, they change wig as well, as well, as well, as well. Clothings and shopping and all of that. So you have to marry a woman that is able to maximize your potential, a woman that can complement you, that can be a boss in your business, that can be able to, you can sit back as a man, even if you travel, your mind is at peace because you know you have a woman that will stand up there to manage your business, to manage your finances. That's the kind of woman you should marry. A woman that think before acting. Most of us women, most of us, we have what we call fish brain. We are very reactive, not proactive. And women that are reactive, they cannot think ahead. But women that are proactive, they can think ahead. So a relationship that you see that the woman's eye is always in your pocket, the woman's eye is always in your pocket, demanding, demanding, demanding. Please end such relationship. Don't say that I have money. Whatever you need, I'll provide. And the woman is demanding. Today demand 1 million, tomorrow 2 million, and you keep providing. When you marry her, she will never change. In fact, the needs will double up. So marry a woman that have empathy, sympathizing, empathetic, and recognize those little things that you have done. So today I come out for women mostly. Also, don't marry a woman that you found on dating sites. I repeat, don't marry a woman that you found on dating sites like all those dating apps without, or maybe social media like Facebook, YouTube, and all the social media. Do not marry a woman that you found on social media. Like if you find a woman on Facebook, Twitter, and all of that, don't live with that woman. Don't open your door and start a relationship with someone you found from the dating site or from YouTube, from Twitter, wherever you found it. Don't open your door and allow them to move in with you without, first of all, knowing her background and go and see her parent. You're not going to see her parent because you're going to pay bride price. But it's very important. It will save you a lot of trouble for you to say to that lady, now we have come out from the dating site. I've seen you, you've seen me. We are happy. This is, we can actually start a relationship. But before we do, I'm going to take you to see my parents. These are my parents and my siblings, and they get to see her and they get to meet her. Whether they are happy or they are not happy, that's none of your problem because no one can make decision on who you have to marry or not. But the simple fact is, you have seen her family, you have known her parents, and that shows to you that that woman or that man has a home. You do the same, the woman, you cannot start a relationship with a man without, first of all, asking that you need to go to their home. Go to where that man come from. Go to their house, see their father, see their mother, see the siblings. You're not going there to pay bride price, but you're just making sure that this woman is for real. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this from experience. That we are most time seeing some impossible things coming to pass. On recent times, I have seen a lot of clips on YouTube where a man has started a relationship with a woman, even impregnated the woman, and the woman gave birth to a son. And by the time the son is 1 year old, someone saw that lady and said to her, the guy you're living with died 3 years ago. I repeat, the guy you're living with, the father of this your son, died 3 years ago. His name was this. Because she has never gone to see the parents of this young man, but they just met and started a relationship and living together. And that is why I'm saying that whether you meet on dating apps, whether you meet on YouTube, whether you meet on Facebook, is imperative, is axiomatic. It is like a mandatory requirement for you to check the background of your wife or your husband to be. Go find a Saturday, go and visit the family, know the father, know the mother, and say, "Oh, I just want to let you know that we are in relationship. We don't know where it's going, but at the moment, I've seen both of you. We are in a relationship." So the lady I was talking about, you know, is the video is still on YouTube. If you want, I can tag the link here. So many of them I've seen. After she had one child for that guy, and someone now saw her and said, "This man you're living with died 3 years ago." And that person decided to visit one of these YouTube guys that does this live reality TV stuff, and took the lady, and the man that told her followed them to their home. And when they got there, the man's mother is still alive. And then the lady said, "This is your grandson. I met your son in Lagos and started a relationship and we had a baby." The woman said, "Which son are you talking about?" He said, your son. He said, "But I only had one son, and that one son died 3 years ago. That is the grave." And pointed to the grave to the lady. And then the lady collapsed. You know, she passed out. And the little baby she had in her hand disappeared. So she gave birth to a ghost child. So, like I said, a broken relationship is better than a failed marriage. I've also seen another clip where this guy found this lady on Facebook and they started a relationship. And the guy said, "We've been here for 3 months. I want to pay your bride price." And the lady said, "You can use one of your friends to stand in for me as a father. You can use another friend to stand in as a mother." She does not have any friend. This lady does not have any friend. She does not use she doesn't call people. She only have her phone on social media. She's there on social media. She's there on Facebook, which means that most of the people we have on social media, they are dead people as well as living people. Because that guy found this girl on social media. And now ready to pay the bride price, the lady refused. He said, "Call someone, call the landlord in the compound, let the landlord receive the bride price." He said, "No, I want to see your parent." He said, "No, call the landlord." And in the end, that lady disappeared, meaning that the guy has been sleeping with a ghost. And the guy said, "If I want to eat food," as soon as I said, "I want to eat rice," she said, "Okay, I'm coming." In the next 2 minutes, she has come with rice, well cooked. And he began to imagine, how did you get this rice well cooked so quick? And that was what gave this guy consent to say, "I want to go and pay your bride price." So ensure that you have gone back to check your parents, check the parents of this girl, check the parents of this boy, and both of them are alive. Then you go ahead with your relationship and take it to another level. Never you take your relationship to another level without seeing the parent of your husband or your wife to be. So, and also check the background of what sickness runs in the family of the person you're going to get married to. What sickness or what diseases runs in the family of someone you're going to get married to. It's very important to check that. Remember, a broken relationship is better than a failed marriage. So check, do they have like cancer in the family? Do they have like a mental health issues in the family? Do they have learning disability in the family? Do they have epilepsy in the family? So all these are diseases, they are not causes. So you will be able to prepare your mind that, you know what, if my wife have a fit, I'll be there for her. I'll be there to get her medication. I'll be there to support her to make sure she's compliant with taking her medication, because I know that this is the sickness that runs in a family, and I'm determined to stand by my man or by my woman to go through this problem in the family. And if they have cancer, you find out what cancer it is, bowel cancer, breast cancer, whatever cancer it is, you or heart disease, you're not using that to against your wife, but it's an awareness. They call emotional intelligence. You're sensitive and you know that your wife now does not have any cancer. Your husband does not have any cancer, but because it is in their family, there's a risk of tomorrow. One, your wife or maybe your husband, now when you get married, that this thing will happen maybe in the relationship, and therefore you start praying from the beginning. You start praying and asking God to help to change this kind of story that's happening in the family. And also you make up your mind that if we get into marriage, something happened down the road, I'm going to support my wife to go through this. I'm going to support my husband to go through this, because you were already aware of that situation. So relationship or marriage fails when a woman refuse to disclose the sickness that runs in her family, or when a man refuse to disclose the diseases or sicknesses that runs in their family, and then when they get into marriage, not quite long, the man is coughing out blood, they have TB running in their family, or the man is passing out blood, they have colon cancer, bowel cancer in their family, but then the woman was not informed. Informing your partner, informing your spouse of the disease that runs in your family enable them to make a choice. So now when they decide to say, yes, I do, they know that they do that at their own volition, they do that at their own accord, and they are ready to support you either prayerfully and also physically. They will support you. Not that you just married to someone today and then tomorrow she have epileptic fit. You saw her going through epilepsy, she's having seizures. And then you begin to ask yourself, why is she having seizures? I wasn't told. Some men will walk out of that marriage. Some women will walk out of that marriage. But when all these things are being disclosed, everyone knows how to cover each other and how to support each other. So make sure before you move your relationship from relationship to marriage, that information surrounding diseases that runs in the family is disclosed, and make your decision. If you want to progress with that lady, you want to progress with that man, you go with Jesus Christ in that marriage, and God Almighty can change your story, because his name is a miracle working God. There's nothing God cannot do. Even people that have sickle cell, sometimes some of them have testified they have a miracle. But I have said to people, when you're having a relationship and someone discloses to you that they are sickler, you have to think very well. Am I ready to bring in a child to come and suffer? Are you ready to see your child go through the suffering of sickle cell to the point that they die? Will you be able to live with that pain, cope with the pain of losing your child because you made a decision to marry the love of your life who was a sickler? And could you have avoided being married to someone who is a sickler, who got SS, and then find someone that is not a sickler? You can do that. Or the person that have SS can look for someone who is AA and still marry as well, as they have a future as well, and have the children with less risk of being hospitalized, suffering from pain, blood transfusion every now and then because they are sickler. So do not take a relationship that you are AS and your wife is SS and think that, oh, I'm not going to have a sickler. No. SS should marry AA. AA should marry SAA. AA should marry AA. So, these things are not disclosed It can also cause the marriage to not to stand. It can break the marriage. And last thing I'm going to say that breaks relationship, that breaks marriages is having children outside wedlock, deciding to keep that away from your spouse is very dangerous. So if you have children before you met your spouse, you have to disclose it. Some people after the marriage and then they realize that they had these children, extra children coming into the marriage, can also break the relationship. So I hope with these few points of mine, it will be helpful for you to decide on what to do and how to plan your relationship before you get into marriage. And the most important point is take Jesus along into that marriage. Take Jesus along into that marriage. Marriage that is planted in Christ. I'm not saying that there's no turbulence in those marriages. There are challenges in all marriages, but because the partners are um, children of God, they will always pray, and most of the times, God will help them to resolve the problem. Thank you. Bye. Please, if you're watching me and you have not subscribed, I beg you, please, I'm begging you, subscribe to my channel. Please help share this broadcast, and please press the notification button so that when I do my next video, you'll be one of the first person to be notified. Please help to share, help to like. Please, thumbing up on this video does not cost you anything, does not cost you data, does not cost you money. Please help me to like this video so that YouTube can recommend it to other people. Help me to like this video. Please help me to like, help me to share. God bless you. Bye.